Are you a breeder looking to showcase your show pigs? With a Walton Webcasting Show Pig Shoot, we are your go-to video service for capturing the full picture of your show pigs. We specialize in providing top-quality video services for breeders like you. Our skilled video team comes directly to your operation. You talk to pigs, we capture the video. Whether it's baby pigs, boars, gilts, or sows, we ensure that their unique features will shine through. With the power of our website and social media, your professionally recorded videos are streamed live, allowing potential customers from all over the country to view and appreciate the quality of your show pigs. We handle the technicalities so you can focus on what you do best, raising exceptional livestock. To schedule your next show pig shoot, call Rhonda at 765-431-7367. Welcome to the ultimate show on the track. Today we celebrate our premier partners, the driving force behind the livestock industry across the nation. Get ready to witness the power of partnership as our premier partners take to the asphalt. Green light and they're off. On the track we have our first partner.
At the Cattleman's Congress Beef Builder and Braunvieh Open Show. We're going to start with the Beef Builder Heifers Class 31 Summer Heifer Calves born on or after May of 2025. Welcoming to the ring our judge, Mr. Ernie Dominguez of Elgin, Texas.
Certainly an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you to sort through this Braunvieh show. We start off with the Beef Builder show, and what a way to start. And just an incredible set and trio of females. The female we lead off with is just, for one, when you talk about utility and having the longevity built into this female, she's so soft and on the ground when she gets out in motion, really gets out and travels well, covers her tracks. You stand in profile here, you see how deep and soft-sided she is. She balances up really nicely from front to back, smooth pattern, good bodied all the way through, just patterns up and blends really nicely as you study her from front to back. It just really has that longevity and utility built into her. When you get into 2 and 3, I think you can kind of just pick and choose depending on where you put your preferences. But for me, the one with the best outline, the one that has just a little bit more comfort and some longevity built into her is the solid black female. No doubt, really clean and extended up front. I love the way she blends in and ties in, is really elevated up front, goes back. I think once that balances up pretty nicely from the side, just didn't have as much product and width and dimension all the way through. Would like to see her have just a little more athleticism as we get her motion. And the female that comes in here in 3, she's one that profiles really nicely too. Young man does a great job of getting her parked in a position, really up-headed, really good look. I think there is some good balance there from the side. She gets just a little bit more rigid as we get her into motion, just a little bit tighter spine, a little tighter, in her hock. And so if we can get her cleaned up and get her just moving a little bit better in this lineup as we project her forward, I think she's got a bright future. Congratulations to the 3 exhibitors.
Well, congratulations in Arena 1 to start out the Beef Builder show. First place to go to back number 1236. That's Alexander B.G.H. Reds Peach, exhibited by Katie June Alexander of Brashear, Texas. Second place, go to back number 1238 to Annie Massinger of Post, Texas. And third place, exhibited by Quirt Odom of Fort Worth, Texas. Now in the ring, Class 32 late spring heifer calves, born April of 2025. Well, congratulations in Class 5 in the Charlotte ring. First place exhibited by Hazen Rossi of Canida, Oklahoma with Diamond. Second place will go to Emma Evan, Gentry, Arkansas with J.O. Miss Miley, 458. Third place in that class exhibited by Emery Mengarelli of Helper, Kansas. We'll now look to see Class 7 senior heifer calves.
Another good trio of beef builder females here, and you quickly get to see the value and the quality of the cattle you're able to put together when you use the Braunvieh breed and you cross them with other breeds that that we have to offer and choose from. The red female up front, I think that one just has so much more body, so much more balance, overall performance and volume all the way through. We'll grant you when we get her into motion, she wants to maybe just get a little bit up and elevated in her spine, just a notch. But when we study her and just evaluate her here in the profile position, there's no doubt she balances up the best. She's the most expressive and the most substantive all the way through. Just a really nice female to get us started. You get into females into 2 and 3, and for me, when I study the female in second from front to back, yes, she gives up some overall volume and perhaps maybe some performance to the female that stands in third. That said, when you study her, I think she blends the best as you study her from that top of that shoulder. You work your way back from hooks to pins. She certainly has some substance. She's really more substantive at the ground, the surface when you study her in her foot, bone size, and feature. Is the female, if we can soften her up throughout, I think she could run with the female that wins this class. And the female in third, the one that I think when you study her in the profile, she does balance up pretty nicely from the side. I would like to change her perhaps just a notch from hooks to pins, and I would like to give her just a little more substance and just bone work when you study her from that hock down to the ground. But one that I think that's got a lot of performance, a lot of volume and quality all the way through. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations in Class 32 late spring heifer calves over here in the Beef Builder ring. First place exhibited by back number 1240. That was OCC Cayenne with Oxtoby Cattle Company of Chakota, Oklahoma. Second place exhibited by Ransom Richardson of Braggs, Oklahoma. And third place exhibited by Megan Schultz of Friendship, Wisconsin. Now in the ring, Class 33 early spring heifer calves born March of 25.
Just a single entry here on the beef builder side, but a super attractive, really eye-catching female. It hits the ring, and when you just really appreciate her from the side here in the profile view, lots of balance, lots of feature when you study her. And when we get her into motion, she is good and fluid and flexible. From time to time, once it gets just a little bit elevated down low in her pasterns. But boy, when you study her here in the profile position, that's a really attractive female. We'll look forward to seeing her back in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, Class 33. First place goes to back number 1242. That's Star Black Betty, 55 and 2, exhibited by Star Ranch, Weatherford, Texas. We're now going to welcome in the final class of the division, Class 34, Junior Heifer Calves, born January to February of 2025.
Just another single entry here for our Beef Builder show, but a really good, soft-centered, really dense female when you study her from front to back. I think there's a lot of quality when you study her up front. She blends in and is just so good when you study in terms of just lower body balance, product and feature throughout, good on her feet and legs when we get her into motion, and just a smooth pattern female. We'll look forward to seeing her back in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Class 34. First place exhibited by Kaylin Jacobs of Brenham, Texas. We're now going to welcome in those first and seconds. We'll select the Champion Reserve Junior Calf here in the Beef Builder Show.
Well, as we bring out these class winners in seconds, just a really awesome show so far on this Braunvieh side and our Beef Builder show. And started off with a female that was just really soft, middled, and really good on her feet and legs as we got her into motion. Not the cleanest chiseled female, when you're studying them up front, but I think that female, when you see some extra leather there, that generally speaks to the ease of fleshability that you're going to see in the cattle. And so I think we can get her kind of parked in a position just a little bit better. She'd probably show off a little bit better from the side here. There's still a lot of quality in that female. The female out of that second class, when we study her from the side, she profiles really nicely here in view. She's not the most extended female that we've seen out here in this lineup. Very substantive in terms of just muscle shape when you study her from behind. Talked about wanting to just get her to move just a little bit better out here in this lineup and just kind of loosen up that skeleton just a little bit all the way through, but a good female in that class. And we got to a really classy, really up-headed female that came out of the next class, just a single entry, but a lot of quality, a lot of look, a lot of eye appeal. As you study her, as we got her into motion, she wanted to get just a little bit more elevated in those pasterns. I'd like to give her just a little bit more flex and a little more angularity down there, just to give her a little bit more cushion at the surface. And then when we talk about the rear third portion of her body, as you compare her to the cattle on either end of her, could we have just a little more product and feature there? The female out of that last class, another single entry female here, but you just study her from the profile view, we study her on the move. She's the most fault-free female out of this lineup. Really good from front to back in terms of just balance, body, shape all the way through. Just a really well built and put together female. So high quality female and set that we've seen so far. I'll go show you your champion in reserve. Congratulations to all our exhibitors.
Well, congratulations back over in the Beef Builder ring. Results out of your junior calf division. Champion exhibited by Kaylin Jacobs of Branham, Texas. Reserve champion went to Katie June Alexander of Brashear, Texas. Back over to the Charlotte ring. Your senior calf champion exhibited by Shayla Dismukes of Chakota, Oklahoma. Reserve champion will go to Cashton Oshner of Pall Mall, Tennessee. We're now going to look to see Class 8 Summer Yearling females.
Really nice single entry as we roll right into the next division here on the Braunvieh side in our Beef Builder show. And boy, what a female in terms of just substance and foot size and bone work and just true muscle shape when you get right behind her. I think she balances up pretty nicely from the side. One that when you study her in the profile view, she's still up-headed and extended. She's smooth patterned, and just everything blends in nicely when you study her from front to back. So we'll look forward to seeing her back in the champion drive. Congratulations to our young exhibitor.
Well, congratulations, Class 35. First place go to Foster Grace Coding, Headley, Texas, with FGK California Barbie, 2422 ET. We'll now look to see Class 36 senior heifer calves born September to October of 2024.
Good pair of females here, and took a little extra time because there's some trade-offs, some give and take, and it's one of those situations where if you can put the two together, I think you can make an even better one. But there's still a lot of quality in both of them. So the one that's just a little bit neater and attractive in certain areas and just blends better all the way through is the black female up front. I will say maybe it gives up just a little bit of length of side to that yellow female stands in behind her. Probably gives up a little bit more natural muscle shape from behind. But in terms of one that just blends and has a little bit more attractive hind leg, and especially as we get her into profile, get her into motion, I think that one has some some interesting parts and pieces that you can breed in more power easily. But because of her structure, her correctness, and in the way, the attractiveness that she has all the way through, I think that really what puts her in that first place position. Yellow female comes in right behind, a smooth pattern female, and for a long time I really had her in that first place position. She still is attractive up front. She balances up really nicely from the side. So when we get here in this profile view, that hind leg just has a little extra set. For me, it doesn't hinder her. We get her into motion. It just kind of detracts from the view in the side that you see from the profile. I think she is true and substantive when you get behind her. Just some trade-offs there. I think they're both very good. Both could stand a lot of competition. My compliments to both the exhibitors. Congratulations. Really good division, and we didn't have a big division in terms of numbers, but the quality was really outstanding. And it started with the young ladies, black female up front, just a single entry, but boy, there was so much good in her in terms of foot size, bone work. Everything kind of blended the way it should. When you study her from behind, there's a lot of substance and squareness and pin width and shape when you study her in that rear or three-quarter view. Just a lot of good in that female. Now, maybe still a little raw in some places compared to the older female right behind her. There's still a lot of quality, a lot of good. The young lady does a great job of getting her presented. Then we get into the next class, a pair of females we just talked about. A little bigger outline in this black female, super smooth in her pattern, her and her one that was just better in terms of just the hind leg design and look and the way it hooked in and it was put together. Could probably have a little more substance and natural shape, but there's plenty there for that female. So real nice trio of females here. I'll go show you your champion reserve. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, your senior calf champion beef builder, exhibited by Aiden Wolken, Mendenhall, Mississippi. That's WCCR, Dark and Lovely, 4092.
Really nice way to kick off our next division here in this Beef Builder and the Braunvieh side. Show a female that when you study her here in the profile position, she's smooth pattern, good body, deep in her flank, really good and square out of her hip, really wide pinned and wide based. You like the fact that she's in production here. We've got her a couple months bred, in that respect, and I like that about her and where she is in this stage of the game. You get her into motion. She's plenty sound. She's plenty correct. I think when you study her here in the profile position, kind of similar to what maybe we said in a previous class, a little extra set in the rear too. That doesn't really take away from her mobility and from a longevity perspective. I prefer that over something that's straighter on both ends. And so a lot of good in this female. We'll see how she stacks up in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, first place in Class 38 in your champion intermediate heifer, exhibited by Katie June Alexander, Brashear, Texas, with Alexander Bruno Liberty. We're now going to welcome in Class 39. These are late spring yearling heifers born April of 2024. Well, congratulations back over in the Charlotte ring. Results out of Class 8 and also your intermediate division champion, exhibited by Caitlin Schaefer of Auburntown, Tennessee, with TR Miss Mayfield, 4760 MET. Reserve in that division went to John Davis III of Ivy, South Carolina, with Block Impress 108. Now in Arena 2 is Class 9 late spring yearling females.
Really good pair of females, and they're different in their type and kind, but the quality is there in both of them. And the black female, if you just want one that's just a more powerfully constructed female, still super sound made, good in her angles and her feet and legs, has like I said, the power and the feature, but still very ladylike in her overall appearance. That one balances up so good from the side, blends so well from front to back. Added feature, added power from behind. I really appreciate that about a great deal about her. Smoke-colored female comes next, just a softer pattern female. I think there's still a lot of good balance. There's a lot of good eye appeal and look, very extended and up-headed and smooth. Her overall design, super good on her feet and legs when you get her in motion. She just gave up some added feature on the top side of that hip, carrying that turn all the way down to that lower quarter. Just want to see some more substance back there for more pounds and just performance, but that's still a high-quality female that I appreciate and like a great deal. Congratulations. move the pair up. Yep. Really good class of females here on this beef builder Braunvieh side, you talk about the individuals here. They all have a lot of quality. There's some things they can offer, and it comes down to just where you prioritize things. And so, just because this female's got a calf at side doesn't necessarily mean that she wins for that reason. However, there are some things that you can see at this point in the stage of the game, and that can work to your advantage, or it could be a disadvantage. And so, yes, she gives up some overall condition to the females that stand behind her, but we've got she's proven. We've got the calf at side. I think that's a high quality calf. By the way, you talk about the female here. Big-footed, big-boned, again, not the biggest outline one out here, but one that still has a lot of look, a lot of good balance and feature through. She is a little hollow. She's given a lot to that calf at side. If we could turn up some of that condition, I think you would see that she probably looks a lot more in terms of just overall performance and would kind of look more like that female in second. But you have to kind of see and read through that. I like the bag. I like the attachment. I love the teat size. All that's really good. Just like to amp her up and give her a little more condition. Would like to see her have just a little more reach as we get out and go. But that's a good pair to get us started. Female here in second. This one's good. This one, get out and go. She's super athletic. She balances up good from the side. Just wish she was a little bit further along, but that didn't take away from the fact that she is bred. She's going to be calving in June. She's got a tremendous amount of look. Wouldn't argue with you if you wanted to swap those two because there's a lot more eye appeal because of the condition that she's in. There's a lot of good there. Just would like to see it further along to then make it a little bit more of an argument for me to go up against the proven female that we just saw. And the female here in really powerfully constructed, one that's a little bit rounder out of her hip because of that, but there's a lot of good performance. Still has some look about her, just gets a little bit harder made, and when you study her from front to back compared to the two cattle in front, would like to maybe just soften her up in terms of that muscle shape and pattern, make it just a little bit more ladylike in this lineup. Really good trio of females. Congratulations. All right, we bring out these division winners here in this Braunvieh Beef Builder show, and what an incredible show to get us started here, and it started strong. That calf division was just tremendous. Two pair of females there that are extremely good. The one that won that particular division, boy, in terms of her outline, eye appeal, and presence, still has it out here in this lineup. You study her and compare her in terms of her balance and feature. There's a wild future ahead of her. There's a lot of good parts in that female. We went into that second division, kind of a smooth pattern female that had a lot of good and eye appeal as well. She didn't maybe have as much substance and power as the others in that particular division, but there was enough of her, and there was a lot of good and a lot of balance all the way through, but really just had a lot of the fundamentals and the parts and pieces to kind of put things together that went to win that division. Kind of a single entry division there, and we move into the next division here. Smooth pattern, balances up good. You compare it to the cattle on either end of these divisions, and is there enough eye appeal, look, and feature in her? And maybe for some yes, maybe for some not. She would loved how wide pin and wide base she was. In terms of just the attractiveness in her hind leg, might want to change that design just a little bit, and perhaps going to get just power this one up just a little bit, match up with the boldness that she has in her center body. We go into that black female next vision. That female kind of amps up that power, still has that refinement, femininity, and look all the way through. Super sound made, just a really well dialed in, super fresh, really well put together female that won that particular division. Then we get to the cow-calf pair that came in next, and that female doesn't have quite the condition as some of the other females that we see out here in this lineup, but still a lot of, I like the fact that we could see the calf at side. She's proven. We like that about her. We could pick on her in terms of just being a little more athletic. Maybe, if you want to nitpick in that bag, maybe the rear two could be attached just a little bit higher to give a little more balance there. You could do that and say that, but probably more than anything, in order to help her to continue to grow and develop that calf, which is a very nice calf at side, we need to see a little more condition on her to give her that show ring bloom, but also to be able to pass that on to that calf. So incredible lineup of cattle. This really is a testament of what this breed can do in a crossbreeding scenario, and really taking advantage of that heterosis. And you see this in the cattle and the quality all the way through. It's an awesome set of cattle. I'll go show you the two that, just for me, put the most good together. There's not a perfect one out here in this lineup, but there's some that is, which ones check the most boxes, have the most good. And if you had to change some things, which ones could you change those in a quicker breeding change in generations? And some take 1 generation, 2, 3, depending on what you want to change. I'll go show you the two that did the most good for me. Let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause. They brought an awesome set of cattle here. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, your grand champion beef builder heifer here at the Cattlemen's Congress goes to back number 1253. That's Miss JMS Zara 03M, exhibited by Miley Gibson, Newark, Arkansas. And congratulations, reserve grand champion is back number 1245, exhibited by Kaylin Jacobs, Brenham, Texas. That was BOF Maybelline 26N. Congratulations to those beef builder exhibitors. We are going to take a very brief photo break. We'll return back with the Open Beef Builder Bull Show. Back over to the Charlotte Ring, results out of Class 9 late spring yearling females. First place exhibited by back number 1699, Carly Sanders, Leesburg, Ohio, with CALP Abby 163M. Second place was back number 1611, exhibited by John Davis III. Third place went to Alyssa Meyer, Clinton, Tennessee. Fourth place to Charlie Becker. Fifth place exhibited by Presley Oliver. Sixth place went to Carson Kellison.
We move into the bull show here on the beef builder side of our Braunvieh show, and I know this guy doesn't maybe like all the bright lights and what we see here in this beautiful facility, but that said, when you study this guy, he's bold, he's powerful, he's got some good true muscle shape, he's really good on his feet and legs, and it'll be very interesting to see as he continues to grow and mature what this guy will develop into. So we'll see him back in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Congratulations in the Beef Builder ring. Results out of our first class of bulls. First place exhibited by Katie June, Alexander, Brashear, Texas, with Alexander BGH, Mr. Clean. Back over to the Charlotte ring before the division. We saw Class 10 early spring yearling females. First place was exhibited by Austin Dorff of Henley, Missouri, with CALP Abbey 39M. Second place was exhibited by Devery Darbin of Duncan, Oklahoma. Third place went to Shelby Cattle Company, Marietta, Oklahoma. In fourth place exhibited by Liddy Novak of El Reno, Oklahoma. Now in ring 2, our judge will select his champion reserve junior females.
Boy, another single entry here on the Braunvieh side of our beef builder show, a bull show here. Boy, this guy's good. I mean, there's a lot of quality in him. There's softness of pattern. There's some boldness in center body, and really neat and attractive when you study him up front. Good-footed, big-legged, a lot of big parts about him all the way through. As we kind of project him forward, and you want to see some masculinity and some additional power and shape, perhaps we can amp up some of that additional shape and power, carrying that really high in that tail head all the way down to that twist and stifle region. But that's picking on a really good bull. In this particular class, we'll see him back in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations in the Beef Builder ring. Results of Class 46. First place exhibited by Jalen Smith, Rosebud, Arkansas, with JMS Polo 89 NET.
Nice pair of bulls in our next class here on the Braunvieh side, our Beef Builder Bull Show. And I think both of them, you want to just pick on mobility compared to the cattle we've seen so far. Could be just a little bit better on their feet and legs when we get them into motion. So we'll kind of put that aside. And then now we've got to evaluate what we see up high. And the lighter colored bull up front, this guy just has so much more product, feature, volume, performance all the way through. This guy is stout and wide-based. He's got so much more muscle shape. He's got more body shape. With that extra body shape, maybe it gets just a little bit tighter through that flank region. So could we soften him up in his rear third? But that guy still has so much more volume, performance, freshness, and look. Scroll circumference bigger than the bull that comes in right behind him. But I would like to give him a little more cushion and more angle down the surface through that hock from a longevity perspective. Still a real stout, powerful bull to win the class. Bull that comes in second. This guy's got some stoutness about him as well. Perhaps gets just a little bit tighter through that spine when you get him into motion. Would like to see him just be a little more athletic and get out and go, kind of like we talked about on this class winner. And when you study him from the profile, can we just deepen and soften him to have some lower body balance and shape to make it a little more comparable to the bull that wins the class? Good pair of bulls there. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations. Over in the Charlotte ring, results of your junior female division champion exhibited by Carly Sanders, Leesburg, Ohio, with CALP Abby 163M and reserve champion. Go to back number 1618. That's CALP Abby 39M, exhibited by Austin Dorhoff of Henley, Missouri. Now in the ring is class 11A, junior yearling females. Back to the Beef Builder ring, results of class 47 before the division. First place exhibited by Big Blue Braunvieh of DeWitt, Nebraska. Second place was exhibited by Jordan Walker of Seminole, Oklahoma.
We bring these bulls back out, and it's been a really good show, even though we don't have quite the numbers, but the quality's still here. And out of that first division in class, a bull that when you study him here in the profile view, very youthful, still has some masculinity and look about him. You study him comparing him to cattle on really behind him, and I know they're older. When you project them, will he have the same amount of, foot and bone size and density compared to the two behind him? But there's still a lot of good in this guy. As soon as he decides he wants to be a show bull and kind of just get more comfortable out here in the show ring, I think he'll continue to show even better. But it gives you an awesome look from the side. We get into a couple bulls that stand behind that are very different in type and kind. You got just a softer pattern bull here in the middle. It's good in terms of his balance. Super good on his feet and legs. I mean, this guy can get out and go and probably travels the best out of all the bulls we've seen so far. But, he gives up some natural muscle shape when you study him from behind. And so perhaps that's something you'd like to see to improve and enhance him. But still, that's picking on a bull that puts a lot of good parts and pieces and things together. In the bull we just talked about in this last class, one that's stout made. And with that extra stoutness, maybe gives up some of that mobility that you'd like to see from a longevity perspective. But still a lot of good in that guy. If you like one ultra stout, powerful, masculine, you can gravitate there. You want to go to something that's a little more youthful and have maybe a little bit different feature about him, you can go there. That's one just really good in terms of feet and legs and soundness and correctness. Or do you go with a younger bull here that's got a lot of future about him as well? But as you project forward, what's that going to look like? How is he going to grow, mature, and develop? So I'll go show you the two that I like the best. Awesome set of bulls to get us started here. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, your junior calf champion here in the Beef Builder Show. We'll go to Jalen Smith, Rosebud, Arkansas, with JMS Polo 89 NET. Well, congratulations back in the Beef Builder ring. Reserve in that division exhibited by Katie June Alexander of Brashear, Texas, with Alexander BGH Mr. Clean. We're now going to welcome in Class 48 Winter Bull Calves born November to December of 2024. Back to the Charlotte ring. Results out of Class 11A Junior Yearling Females. First place exhibited by back number 620. That was BRCHE's Sister Hazel 4502. Exhibited by John Chandler of Belton, South Carolina. Second place will go to back number 1621. Exhibited by Knox Harvey of Lamar, Missouri. That was Cars Miss Smoke Show 403 PET. Now in the ring before division, Class 11B Junior Yearling Females.
Good pair of bulls in our next and kick off this next division. Boy, this moderate frame bull is so good in terms of his feet and legs, his correctness, his soundness. But boy, that lower body balance and just easier fleshing, easier doing kind of cattle is what I really like about that guy. Front to back, like I said, the balance is there, the shape is there. There's a lot of good in that moderate packaged bull. Young man does a great job getting presented. We got a little bit more elevated and attractive bull that comes in here next. One that if you want a little bigger outline, as we project him forward, I think he can offer that. He's got some smoothness of pattern. He's got some length of body, one that's still got some shape when you study him from behind as well. With that added frame and elevation there, perhaps just gets a little bit hollower made and didn't have quite the lower body balance and shape you'd like to see in him. And so as we project him forward, can we just offer that to him, soften him up to give him just a little bit more balance from the side. But a good pair of bulls to kick us off in this next division. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations. Your champion senior calf in the Beef Builder Bull Ring will go to JPK California Dreamin' ET, exhibited by Jess Coding of Memphis, Texas. Same exhibitor for reserve in that division with JPK coming in hot, ET. Now in the ring will be Class 51 Summer Yearling Bulls born May to June 2024.
Awesome single entry here, and one that's tremendous in terms of his length of side, squareness of hip, top shape, and just body shape all the way through. That guy's expressive. He's so good in terms of his foot size and bone work, and still fresh and overall in terms of his condition and look. That guy has a lot to offer. We'll see him back in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Your intermediate champion bull here in the Beef Builder Show will go to back number 1267. That was the Alexander Bruno 24K Magic, exhibited by Katie June Alexander, Brashear, Texas. We'll now welcome in those division champion reserves, and our judge will select his grand and reserve grand champion Beef Builder bull.
Boy, as we wrap up this bull show here for the Beef Builder side and our Braunvieh show, it's been an incredible show here. The females were awesome. The bulls were really good. And what you see out here, I think, really represents what you can do with this breed and the breed's versatility and just what it has to offer and what you can make. And you see it out here. And there's some differences, there's no doubt, and the type and the kind based on what they crossbred with. But what you see, I think, are bulls that offer a lot to the breed and can have and offer a lot to the industry. And so out of that first division, kind of a softer pattern bull, but one that was so good jointed and legged and can get out and go. And so project him forward, will we be able to amp up and put and stamp the power that you see in the two bulls behind him? I think there's some good width there and some good, natural shape. But what can he offer down the road? That's yet to be seen. That's still a really good bull and it offers a lot of good. We get in that second division here. This guy is stout. He's rugged. He's moderate. He's good-footed and legged and has a lot to offer. From front to back, the balance is incredible. If you want one that's going to be moderate, if you want one that's rugged and can offer a lot of good, you can gravitate to that guy. He's really, really good. Then we can get into this last division here, bigger outline bull, long-sided and spine, still stout, maiden, powerful. You study him here in the profile and compare to the two cattle in front of him. Maybe his hind leg just doesn't quite have that eye appeal and maybe not as correct. However, I've said before, that could serve him well, especially as you put him in a natural service down the line. I like the way he's built from that perspective. But, from an attractiveness and eye appeal perspective, could be designed just a little bit more correctly to make it just a little more eye appealing. Good set of reserves back there as well. I'll go show you the two that I like the best. This is an awesome set. You can go a lot of different ways depending on what you like and you prefer and what you need in your breeding program. I'll just go show you the two that I like the best. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations back to the Beef Builder Ring, your Grand Champion Beef Builder Bowl, exhibited by Jess Coating of Memphis, Texas, with JPK, California Dreamin' ET. Reserve Champion Beef Builder Bowl, exhibited by Jalen Smith of Rosebud, Arkansas, with JMS Polo 89 and ET. We're headed to the backdrop over here in Arena 1. We'll be back with your open show for the full-blood and purebred Braunvieh females here in just a few minutes. Back to the Charlotte ring. Results of Class 11B before the division. First place exhibited by Kelton Arthur of Stillwater, Oklahoma, with Miss Nova. Second place was exhibited by Calla Higby of Quinmon, Kansas. And third place, and congratulations, went to Tresson Tosh of Desha, Arkansas. We're now going to select a champion reserve junior female. Well, congratulations, your champion junior female. Coming out of Class 11B, exhibited by Kelton Arthur. That was Miss Nova. Reserve in that division will come from the same class, exhibited by Calla Higby. That was LJR, Miss Madison, 3826M. We'll now look to see Class 12A senior yearling females. Well, congratulations in Class 12A. This will also be your senior champion going to back number 1630. That was WGBCC Miss Jasmine 360 PET, exhibited by George Gudu of Ladonia, Texas. We'll get the ring cleared. We're going to get started with your grand drive here of our open ROV Charlet show. Again, over here in Arena 1, we'll get started with the Braunviehs in just a few minutes. As all of our division champions and reserves are entering the ring, we'd like to take a moment to recognize our judge today in the Charlet ring, Mr. Tim Schaefer of Hagerstown, Indiana. Tim is the owner and operator of Schaefer Show Cattle, along with his wife Emily and sons Braylon and Collier. Schaefer Show Cattle is a 250-head multi-breed operation. The program focuses heavily on the junior show heifer market, extensive genetic sales, as well as campaigning a strong lineup of maternal-driven bulls for semen sales. With the Schaefer Show Cattle team, he has been fortunate to exhibit, sell, and raise multiple national champion females and bulls over the past 20 years. Over the last 8 years, Tim has judged the North American, the American Royal, Fort Worth, and many state fairs across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Let's thank Mr. Tim Schaefer, Hagerstown, Indiana, for joining us here today at the Cattlemen's Congress.
Awesome way to start off this Braunvieh show with the heifers that in this class, just a really good set from top to bottom, front to back. And what a way to start off with this class winner up front. This female is so good in terms of her lower body balance, foot size, bone work, and the way she can get out and go. When you get back and stand and appreciate her from the side, she's got enough femininity and look, but you kind of see how she handles that top line better than the female in second there. Just a really good female to get us started. Female in second, I like her a great deal too. We probably could kind of loin her in her top line and let her kind of level set just a little bit more to give you a little bit more look, but there's more overall performance, volume, capacity to the female that lands right behind her. Love the way she can get out and go and travel with some ease. She has more reach than the female in third. Female in third, this one's good at striking from the side. She really is the most attractive as you study the females that stand behind her. She gets just a little bit plainer as you study her in terms of her muscle shape out through her hip. You could probably tuck that tail head down into her skeleton just a little bit, and we could see her move a little bit better out in the show ring. That certainly would give her an opportunity to move up higher in the class. The female that comes in right behind her, just a big-bodied female, moderate in her size, just gets a little plainer out through that front end. Like to change that about her, offer some more substance and power from behind. Get to the female, kind of a tiger stripe female that comes in next. She has some attractiveness and look as we kind of got her settled in and presented. You could see her. She offers a really good look from the side, offers some good length of side, some good true shape from behind. She just didn't quite have the overall performance as the females that land in front of her. However, I think down the line, she has a bright future. And the female that rounds out this class, one that has some extension and femininity and look to her. She's got some good foot size and bone work. Didn't quite travel with the quite the ease of the other females that land in front of her. Want to level out and relax her spine too to give her a little bit more look from the side. Awesome set of females to get them started. Let's give them a big hand.
Well, congratulations, grand champion female here at the Cattleman's Congress, and your Charlet show goes to Kelton Arthur, Stillwater, Oklahoma, bred by Corey J. Kronk, Newcastle, Indiana, with Miss Nova.
Really good class here in the Braunvieh side of females, and the one that leads off this class, she just hit me really hard. As soon as she came in the ring, I knew she was one that was going to contend, and she held that all the way through. She matches up and follows up what we saw in that previous class of one that's good-footed, good-legged, still has some good balance all the way through, very neat and attractive as you study her up front, just one that blends and just ties in nicely from front to back. Really nice way to get us started in this class. The yellow female that comes in right behind her, she's a contender as well. I think this one is super sound made, maybe not as sure-footed and as authoritative as we hit and get into motion compared to the class winner, one that you can kind of study her and see. She's got some good length of side. She's got some good balance. Gets just a little bit plainer out through that throat latch area compared to the cattle that won this particular class. But I love the saw the performance all the way through. Female comes in right behind her, a neat, attractive one that's got some length of side about her as well. She's got some good foot and bone size. She's got some good shape. She's a little bit more moderate than the two cattle standing behind her, but as you get her out into motion, she travels better than the two females that standing behind her. She's kind of a little bit more, she blends and ties in better than the two, and I love the softness that she offers throughout, just a bit is an easier feeding, easier fleshing kind of female. Female comes in right behind her, a little bigger frame female that's got a tremendous length of side, strength of top line, smoothness of pattern, just like to deepen and soften her and give her some extra lower body balance to get higher in the class. And the female that rounds out this group here gets just a little bit tighter in her spine, but I love the attractive look that she presents from the side, a little more compact in her overall makeup, didn't quite have as much product and performance in her rear third, but more than anything, just want to relax her in her spine as we get her into motion. Congratulations.
Well, we'd like to congratulate the reserve grand champion female in the Open Charlet show here at the Cattleman's Congress, exhibited by Carter Cornegie of Sperry, Oklahoma, and bred by Anderson Cattle of Bridgewater, South Dakota. That was ACPGC Miss Nadia 2501 ET. We're going to take a brief photo break over here in Arena 2 before we get started with the bull show. Back over to the Braunvieh ring. Results out of our first two classes of full-blood and purebred heifers. First place in Class 1, exhibited by Avery Johnson of Brenham, Texas, with Star American Honey 135N. Second place in that class was exhibited by Riley Ray Bowling of Poolville, Texas, with Star Creole Woman 10M. Coming in Class 2, late spring heifer calves. First place exhibited by Riley Flowers, Mount Vernon, Texas, with L7, the Lulu. Second place in that class was exhibited by Shelby Prezick of Brenham, Texas, with Prasmis Solar Star 129 ET. Now entering ring 1 is Class 3. These are early spring heifer calves born March of 2025.
All right, what an awesome class of females here. A deep one as we go and look throughout with the female. The top pair here, I think, match up pretty nicely. That class winner, I think, is just so much more robust and has so much more volume, performance, capacity, and just genuine shape all the way through. She's the three-dimensional one that still offers the softness, the correctness, and the right look from the side. That's a really highly presented female to win the class. Same could be said about female in second. This one's parked in position and giving me the best look possible. She balances up really nicely from the side. Long and level on her spine, just gave up some extra shape right behind to the female that wins. But that's a good pair of females. We get in the next female here, real sound made, good bodied, good top kind of a female that just got plainer really on both ends compared to the Cattleman win. But she offered more correctness in terms of skeleton all the way through to the female that came in right behind her. Female right behind her, long level spine, super attractive look. She just kind of gets a little bit up in that top line as we get her into motion. I want to relax that. She shows that out of her, and I like that. Offers a good look. Need to see her have some more lower body balance and shape to her as well. Female comes in right behind her, long level spine too. Gets a little plainer out through that chest and up through that throat latch compared to the cattle up front. Didn't quite have as much natural shape from behind to offer just some balance and symmetry and proportions all the way through. The female that comes in right behind her, another long level spine, good top kind of a female that just ran out of some, didn't have some of those extras and bells and whistles, gets a little bit rounder out of her hip as we get her out and into motion. But I love the foot size. I love the bone density that she offers. Just need to have her relax her spine, kind of try to breathe through some more presence up front, and that would certainly move her up in the class. The female comes in next, just gets alpha on her top line, wants to roll and tuck under herself. I love the extra smoothness and correctness, although that she's got. Just need to change that about her to get her better. And the female that comes in right behind her, a long level spine, still attractive female that didn't quite have as much body shape from the side, was a little bit plainer out of her muscle shape compared to the cattle up front. And the female rounds out this group, another long level spine female, bigger outline female that just can't get out and go and travel with the best of them out here today, but a good group of females from top to bottom. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations in Class 3 in the Braunvieh show. First place exhibited by back number 1294. That was WCCR Ready for a Miracle 5014, exhibited by Aiden Wilkin, Mendenhall, Mississippi. Second place in that class exhibited by 1288, also Aiden Wilkin. Third place went to back number 1285, exhibited by Shelby Prezick of Brenham, Texas. Fourth place to go to back number 1295, Caitlin Jacobs, Brenham, Texas. Fifth place, 1289, Elmer and Carol Lehman of Leroy, Kansas. Sixth place, exhibited by Caitlin Ellert of Lila Lake, Texas. Now in the ring is Class 4A, Junior Heifer Calves, born February of 2025. Well, congratulations back in the Charlotte ring to start out the ROE Charlotte Bull Show Class 2 first place. Bred and owned by Avery Hunt of Longview, Texas. That's CAH final copy 06N. Second place in that class, go to back number 1661. That's J.O. Cat Daddy 541. Bred and owned by Kylan Oaks of Tologa, Oklahoma. Now in the ring will be Class 3A Early Spring Bull Calves. Well, congratulations in Class 3A in the Charlotte ring, first place. We'll go to back number 1663. That's KASCC Stefan 278N, owned by Kinsley Atchison, Samson Cattle Company, and Oklahoma Bovine Elite. Now in the ring is Class 3B Early Spring Bull Calves. Well, congratulations before the division. Class 3B first place will be back number 1667. Three Aces double down. 3505, bred and owned by Alyssa Meyer, Clinton, Tennessee. We're now going to welcome in those first and seconds, and our judge will select his champion reserve in the first division.
Good class of Braunvieh females, and it's a real deep one. In fact, you look at this class winner here. I mean, this female offers an awesome outline, paints a great picture from the side, balances up so good. And when she gets out and goes, I mean, she's maybe not the most, one that covers the most ground and has the most reach, but she gets out and goes good enough for me out here today. There's just a lot of good that she offers, and she holds herself together as we get out and get into motion. Female second matches up best for me to kind of offer the same kind of look and lower body balance, a smoothness and correctness all the way through. She perhaps gets just a touch plainer out through that throat latch and jowl area compared to the female that wins. But that female, when we get her parked and pulled together, she offers a lot of good from the side. Getting a female that comes in next year, has some toughness and robustness about her. She just a little bit off in terms of her spine and tail head as we get her parked in a position, also in motion. Doesn't quite collect herself together. That's still a really good female that lands in 3. The female lands in right behind her. She's a very attractive, good-looking female that quite just kind of ran out of some steam and gas as we got into that rear third portion of her body. We kind of go into some females here. We got some females that have a good outline, have a good look, don't quite have as much natural shape, body shape, lower body balance, or enough product when we get right behind them. Perhaps there's some plainness when we study them in the front in terms of chest floor or out through that front end. Female down the end here just kind of gets off in her spine, doesn't quite collect herself a go when we get out into motion. But a real good female or class of females from top to bottom. Congratulations. Another really good class on the females here. Class winner just offers an awesome outline, really neat and extended up front. Smooth pattern, opens up into an awesome rib cage and lower body shape that she presents. Holds herself together in her top line better than the female lands in 2, but they're very comparable in terms of body shape kinds of females. One that wins the class, just a little bit bigger outline, a little bit more neat and attractive up front. Also holds that top line a lot better as we get her into motion. Female in second, big bodied, one that's really rugged in overall look and appearance, big footed, big legged. One that's got some natural shape from behind, just got just a little bit plainer out through the chest and up through that throat latch, perhaps maybe just a little bit coarser side of her neck. But if we could hold that top line and lay it into her skeleton and give her a little more comfort there, that could certainly make a little bit more of a play for that first place position. Good pair of females to lead us off. Female comes in next, neat and attractive, up-headed, awesome outline from the side. Love the length of side, gives up some of that center body, doesn't quite have as much shape as the females that land in front. Female comes in next here. She moves better as we get her to motion. The female that lands in right behind her. Love the strength of top, length of side that she possesses. Need to see more performance. Maybe down the line, we give her more time on feet to catch up with the females in front. And the female lands in right behind her. She is long-sided as well. Kind of gets tighter in her top line. Doesn't quite cover the ground like the females in front. Good group of females. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations back to the Charlotte ring. Results out of our first division of bulls. Spring Bull Calf Champion exhibited by Alyssa Meyer, Clinton, Tennessee with 3 aces. Double down 3505. Reserve in that division exhibited by Kinsley Atchison, Samsel Cattle Company, and Oklahoma Bovine Elite with KA SCC Stephan 278N. Now in the ring, this Class 4A Junior Bull Calves. Back to the Braunvieh ring, results out of Class 4B. First place was exhibited by back number 1313. Ava Grace Johnson, Brenham, Texas, with Star Wonder Woman 135N. Second place in that class went to Arcee Gomez of Dallas, Texas. Third place exhibited by Aiden Wilkin. Fourth place went to Cambry Pittman, and fifth place to Caitlin Ellert. We're now going to welcome in those first and seconds. We'll select a champion reserve junior calf in the Braunvieh ring.
Well, we bring out these class winners here in seconds, and boy, we've got an awesome lineup of cattle here. Starts off with that first class winner. This female is so good in terms of her lower body balance and shape, but also when we get her out and go, I mean, she's so authoritative as she hits the ground, covers her tracks the way she should. She offers a lot of good in a very youthful young package. I know she's the baby out here in this lineup. That's a really, really good one. We rolled into a couple classes here where I think the female stood in right behind her at a class 2, offers some good there as well. As you compare to the cattle on either end, you know, maybe shouldn't have as much lower body shape as the females on either end of her, or, you know, standing behind her as well. But there's still a lot of good, clean in her lines, really good in her outline, a lot to offer there. Roll into the next class. I think this one's dense in her body shape, really good in terms of smoothness and correctness overall. You know, is she going to have some of the bells and whistles? We'll see to be a contender, but I think there was a lot of good. She offered a lot of good in class. She had some good true shape when you got right behind her. We rolled into the next class here of a big-bodied female, maybe a little more, you know, compact in her overall design, but still rugged in her foot shape, bone shape, and the way she's put together. And then the final class here, one that's, you know, bigger outline, good in terms of balance. You love the look and the attractiveness that she presents as well. You know, again, will she have some of those extras? We'll see. But a real nice set of winners, some seconds over there that will have some contention as well. Let me go show you your champion. Let's give him a big hand.
Well, congratulations in our first division over here in the Braunvieh Female Show. Champion goes to Star American Honey 135, exhibited by Avery Grace Johnson, Brenham, Texas. While our judge is selecting his reserve, back over to the Charlet ring. Results of Class 4A, first place, bred known by Steerwalt Cattle of Leedy, Oklahoma. That's SC Liftoff 510N. Second place was exhibited by Brooke Dunsmore of Mora, Minnesota, with BD Reckoning, and third place exhibited by Easton Hardy of Ryan, Oklahoma. Now in the ring, Class 4B. Reserve in the Braunvieh ring for that first division went to back number 1269, coming out of the same class as our champion, exhibited by Riley Bowling of Poolville, Texas, with Star Creole Woman 10M. Now in the Braunvieh ring, we'll look to see Class 5 winter heifer calves born November to December of 2024. Back to the Charlet ring, results out of Class 4B junior bull calves. First place went to back number 1674, Jazz Hotshot 252N, exhibited in bred and owned by Jackson Stags of Wayne, Oklahoma. Second place was also exhibited by Jackson Stags. Now in the ring, our judge will select his champion reserve, Junior Bulls. Well, congratulations in the Charlotte ring, your junior bull calf champion, exhibited by Steerwalt Cattle, Leedy, Oklahoma, with SC Liftoff 510N, and reserve champion. We'll go to Brooke Dunsmore, Amora, Minnesota, with BD Reckoning. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We'll now look to see Class 6. These will be our senior bull calves. This will also be the division.
Another good set of cattle here on the Braunvieh side. Real neat and attractive class winner up front. One that's got the added extras when you study her on that front end. Really good and strong on her top line and length of side. That balance and shape that she presents from the profile, and one that's really awesome out of her hip and has that true shape. One that we get out in motion, she gets out and travels a lot of ease in the ring. Female comes in right behind her. Another smooth pattern female that's got comparable length of side. It's got some good body shape when you study her from the side. I would say she probably has some added power and shape when you study her out of that hip and down into that twisted stifle region. Just gets plainer out of that front end compared to the female that wins. Not as quite as substantive as we study her from hawk to the ground. But that's still a solid female that if we could kind of put some of those extras in her, she certainly could run with that female that wins the class. Female comes in right next here. One that's smooth in her shoulder design, opens up into some good body shape about her. She gets a little bit more compact. She gives up some overall performance to the two females ahead of her, but I love her moderation of size. Just need to add some more power and shape from behind. Give her just a little bit more body shape overall to get her higher in the class. And the female that rounds out this class, young lady does a great job of getting her presented, parked, and in position, giving me the best look at all times. Love the length of side. Love the added look that she presents from that shoulder forward. She just gives up some body shape, gives up some muscle shape when you get right behind her because of that added frame size that she has. It kind of just throws off some of that look and balance. But a real neat, practical, functional female that has a lot to offer in a breeding program. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations over in the Braunvieh ring. Results out of Class 5 to start out the division. First place exhibited by back number 1321. That's Star Whiskey Girl. M97 exhibited by Kaylin Jacobs of Brenham, Texas. Second place go to Shelby Prazik, also of Brenham, Texas. Third place exhibited by Lucky 7 Braunvieh. And fourth place went to Emily Alexander. We're now welcoming in Class 6. These are senior heifer calves born September to October of 2024 before the division. Well, congratulations over here in the Charlotte ring. Results out of our senior calf division. Your champion goes to back number 1676. That's Cars and Mr. Jack in the Box, 425P. Exhibited by Car Cattle Company, Webb City, Missouri, and Caprock Cattle Company. Second place and reserve in that division will go to back number 1675. Bred and owned by Camden Flippo, Rush Springs, Oklahoma. That's FFF Happy Hour 4206. Now in the ring is Class 8. These are summer yearling bulls.
Another good set of females here on the Braunvieh side. Easy class winner for me in terms of being the most sound and correct female out of this group. By no means is she perfect. I think she gets a little bit soft in that top line where we can break right behind that shoulder. But as far as the rest of it, I think all the goods are there. She's a very practical, functional female that offers a lot of good in this class. The female comes in right behind her. I think she offers some good thickness and some smoothness overall. She gets maybe just a little bit more refined in terms of her bone work down low. Didn't quite move and have the flexibility and athleticism as the class winner. Female that rounds out this top three females here, a little more compact in her overall design, but still I love her moderation of size. I think that's really where she kind of excels over the females that come in right behind. I love her moderation of frame size. I love the smoothness and correctness she presents. Could see her get out and go just a little bit better, have a little more flexibility down low in terms of her ankle and pastern. The females that come in right behind, we'll kind of just got to walk and talk them on the way out. Female that I like, her extra reach as we get out and go and put her into motion. I love her body balance as she presents, one that just didn't quite have as much as those bells and whistles as we get into that rear third portion of her body where I'd like to power her up to get her higher in the class. The female comes in next, a little bigger frame size, a little bit tighter in her spine, kind of a female. But in terms of just one that can get out and move, I think she could do that. Smooth in her pattern, in her shoulder design. She opens up really nice in terms of her rib cage with that added frame size. Didn't quite have enough lower body balance to get higher in the class. And a couple of females here, that ones that have a good outline about them as well. Just didn't quite have enough product, width, and dimension and shape throughout to get higher in the class. Congratulations. We bring out these class winners in our next division here, and not quite the numbers that we saw previously, but still some high-quality females. And out of that first class in this division, female, I think, puts a lot of good together. She hit me pretty hard in class. I think this one, in terms of her outline, her look, her eye appeal, her and just the fill and product she has throughout. I mean, she's on 12 o'clock. She's exactly where she needs to be, and she's looking the part out here in this lineup. Female we just talked about in this previous class where she offers a lot of good too, maybe not quite dialed in quite yet, but in terms of just getting out and traveling as good as she did in that class, still having a good outline and product and feature, I think she stands in competition out here as well. So I'll show you the two that I like the best. Congratulations to these exhibitors in this division.
Well, back over in the Charlotte ring, results out of our intermediate bull division. Your champion exhibited by Carr Cattle Company and Henson Family Livestock. Now in the ring, class 9. These are spring yearling bulls. Back over the Braunvieh ring, results out of the senior calf division. Champion coming out of class 5, exhibited by Kaylin Jacobs, Brenham, Texas, at Star Whiskey Girl M97. And reserve in that division, coming out of the same class, that will be Praz Miss Juliet, 117 MET, exhibited by Shelby Prazik of Brenham, Texas. We'll get the ring cleared and welcome in Class 8 early summer yearling heifers, born and mated June of 2024.
pair of females to get in this next division. I believe it's a class, but it's also a division here, so I'll talk about them, then I'll show you the order I like them. Female that kind of led off this class here. Female that is, big in her outline. I think they both are, a little bit more on the frame-ear size kind of cattle, but still very substantive. And I think she's super fresh in her overall condition. She moves, pretty good out here on her feet and legs when we get her into motion. I think we kind of study that lower balance, perhaps chest floor is a little bit, lower and could be tucked in just a little bit, and that would probably give her a little bit better look from the side. But in terms of one that can hold the spine together, blend together the way she should, I think there's a lot of good things that come together with that female. Then the darker color female that comes in right behind her, she's smooth in her pattern and design, very punchy kind of female, a lot of product, a lot of dimension, a lot of shape. When we get her to motion, you can see, when we stand here, she's a little more upright on her rear too, and if we could relax that down and give her just a little more cushion and flexibility and angle, perhaps that would make her move a little better out here in this lineup. So good pair of females here. I like the female out front that's walking out right now to be the champion of this division. Follow up with the reserve female right here to be our reserve. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations over here in Arena 1, first place, exhibited by back number 1334. That was Aiden Wilkin, Mendenhall, Mississippi. Reserve champion, exhibited by Ellen Zybing of Campbellsburg, Indiana. We'll now welcome in Class 10 early spring yearling heifers born March of 2024.
Good pair of females here on the Braunvieh side. Our class winner is really a good female, and she's right on time and right on target in terms of breeding, and both of these females are in production. Got a female that should be calving right at 2 that wins this class, and in terms of just one that is you just kind of stand back and evaluate and appreciate what she has to offer, her look, her presence, her eye appeal, the way she balances up, so nicely from front to back, feet and legs, and the way she goes out and travels around the ring is just awesome. She's just really well put together and very highly presented. Female stands in right behind her. Young man does a great job getting her presented as well. In terms of one that you study her from the side, she's strong and level in her top line. She's got that length of side. She's long on her hip. She's one that still has some presence and eye appeal as well. Love to see her a little bit further along, and I think if we saw that, you would see her kind of body down some more. That would help kind of bridge some of that gap that we see down low. But good pair of females in this class. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations back over in the Braunvieh ring. Results out of Class 10, first place, exhibited by Aiden Wilkin, Mendenhall, Mississippi, with WCC Polar Princess 4027. Second place in that class, exhibited by Jeremiah Gonzalez Jr. of Palestine, Texas. We'll now welcome in Class 11 before the division.
Real stout, powerfully constructed female, single entry here on the Braunvieh side. I mean, you love the ruggedness, foot size, bone work. You study her up high. I mean, this one's bold in her rib cage. She's huge in her top, and she's really big and expressive out of her hip and that lower twist and turn that she presents. Still very ladylike all the way through, but still having all that power and maternal look about her. And she's getting close to calving, so you start to study and look at her bag and teat size and placement and attachment. I think it's all very good and well balanced. Really nice female in this class. We'll see her back in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations. Back over in the Charlotte ring, champion out of our junior division goes to Madison Metzler of Grandview, Texas, with MTZ Catamara M22, and reserve champion exhibited by Taylor Elmore, Hominy, Oklahoma.
So now we bring out these class winners in this division here. We're kind of moving right along, and boy, these two females are so good. They're a little different though in how they're constructed and built. Doesn't take away from the quality they present and possess. That female to that first class, really neat and attractive one. Really elevated up front, gives you an awesome outline and look, balances up really nicely. And you want to talk about one that can kind of just transition and blend the way they should. She does that very, very well. Just a really well and put together female all the way through. And then the stout female we just talked about, a little more rugged in her type and kind, but she's still bold. She's still expressive, with that extra, muscle shape and power. Perhaps she gets a little bit rounder out of her hip, and maybe that tail head doesn't quite tie in because of that as well. But there's still a lot of good in that female, and you love the production value these two females present. So I'll show you the two that I like the best in that order. Real nice lineup in this division. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, Class 11 Charlotte ring. First place is back number 1682, Jeff's Cattle Company, Stephenville, Texas, with JFS Cowboy Capital 1019. We'll now welcome in Class 13.
awesome trio of cow-calf pairs here on the Braunvieh side, and you really get to see the other side of this. We saw a lot of good beef cattle. Now you're starting to see some of that milk production and milk value, or the milking ability of these of the Braunvieh, what they have to offer, and you see this so much so here in this class winner up front. I mean, this female, I don't think you can put any more milk in her. Teat size, perhaps for some, you maybe like to gravitate toward the cow that's in that second position. But in terms of milk production and value there, she's awesome. And in terms of just in the female, you kind of stand back and evaluate and appreciate what she has to offer. I mean, yeah, maybe she gives up, some softness and some, lower body balance to some other cattle we've seen. But she's pouring a lot into this calf, and that's a high-quality calf there at side. I just love, again, the way that cow comes together. I love how much milk she's producing there. I love the attachment and the balance that it is not perfect, but it's pretty on target there. There's just a lot of good in that pair right there, and that's why they win that class. Female and cow-calf that come in next, this one here probably has the advantage in terms of teat size, being a little more refined. Super good, neat, and attractive there. Attachment is awesome. I think she's still got some value in production there as well. You can see the calf is just blooming and blossoming with all that milk production that she's putting on. In terms of just the way she's put together, a little more rugged in her look, but still one that's got so much value. She's doing such a good job with that calf. In terms of just attachment, balance, teat size, and just quality of, that's really what puts her here in that second position. Female comes in third. I would say she's probably more in terms of just that look and her design and attractiveness as that class winner. But again, when we get to this stage of the game, this is where we really need to talk about and consider udder quality and what that looks like. And for her, it's just not quite attached the way it should on all four quarters. Doesn't quite have that balance in terms of teat size. And so for that reason, she kind of falls in this position. But she's got a nice calf at side doing her job. Real good trio of females, cow-calves in this particular class. Congratulations. Well, we bring out these females, and boy, we had a tremendous show, folks. And as you look at this lineup, the cattle are awesome. And I heard this, earlier, just because, you may not have yours out here. Doesn't mean they're not good and they don't have quality either. It's just my opinion here today, and hopefully there's some things you can take with you to help continue to progress and make even better cattle. That's what it's all about. I think that's what's so fun about what we do here. And so we start off with a bang with these two females, and they were the youngest in that particular division. I think they're really, really good. And that one particular division here, I think she's got a bright future ahead of her. When you've got all that kind of product shape at that age and where she is, you project her forward, I can only see her getting even better down the line. And that's what makes me so confident in why I used her in that particular class. She's one of those who's just going to continue to get better. I don't see her having any bad days ahead. So awesome female to get us started in that particular class and that division. And those two have paired up really, really well. We moved into that next division in classes of females. That this one, so good in terms of her lines and designs and the way she's put together, smooth pattern, really good. And we got her into motion, just an awesome kind of female as well. And you get into the next particular division classes and a little bigger outline female. We had, a couple in that particular one. Big bone, big footed kind of a female there that, perhaps as you compare to the cattle on either end of her, you could probably see some more, body shape, lower body shape and lower body balance to her. And perhaps that comes as we get her further in gestation and in production down the line. And we get into our senior females here. This female here, I think, puts a lot of good together. One that kind of blends so well from front to back, balances up so good, so neat and attractive still in her appearance and for where she is at the stage of the game. She's on target to calve right around 2. You see the teat size is right where it should be. Bag attachment and all, it's really good. And so there's a lot of good in that female. Not maybe the most powerfully constructed one that's out in this lineup, but plenty of product, dimension, and shape throughout. And we can get into our cow calves and that pair. Female that is unmatched in terms of remote production in that particular division. She doesn't have perfect udder by any means, but it was good enough to get her in that position. She blends in really nicely too from the side. You study her, she's got a calf at side, so she doesn't quite maybe have all that bloom and fill that you see in the females in front, but she's still fresh in her overall condition, raising a nice calf at side. It's really hard to ask a lot more of her. But if you want to pick on one, you probably could see some more of her in order to have that show bloom, fill, and look, when we want to see here from the side. So awesome seconds or reserves back there that, one will get plugged in here for consideration. But this has been a tremendous female show. Should be really proud of the kind of cattle that have been presented in your programs and all the good that this breed has to offer the industry. So I'll go show you the two that I like the best. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, your grand champion purebred Braunvieh female here at the Cattleman's Congress goes back number 1337. That's WCCR Polar Princess 4027. Over in the Charlet ring, we're bringing in all of those reserve division champions before we select our grand and reserve grand champion, Charlet Bull. If you can put your hands together, let's thank Mr. Tim Schaefer, Hagerstown, Indiana, for joining us here today for our Charlet show. We'd also like to say a big congratulations to the reserve grand champion, Braunvieh female, here at the Cattleman's Congress. Coming out of our first division of the show today, Star American Honey 135N, exhibited by Avery Grace Johnson of Brenham, Texas. We're going to get ring one cleared. We'll get started with the cow-calf pairs in just a moment. Following that, we will look to see the bull show before we turn over to our next breed here in Arena 1. Well, congratulations, Grand Champion Charlotte Bull here at the Cattlemen's Congress, coming out of the senior division, bred and owned by Jeff's Cattle Company, Stephenville, Texas. That was JFS Cowboy Capital 1019. And congratulations, Reserve Grand Champion coming out of the same division. That's SKS. Walk This Way 52L, exhibited by Skeens Cattle Company and 4M Landing Cattle LTD. Again, we'd like to thank Mr. Tim Schaefer for joining us here today for our Charlet Show.
We move into our cow-calf pair division here on the Braunvieh side. We only got 2 entries, but 2 high-quality females here with awesome calves at side. I'll talk about each one and then place them the way I see them. Up here up the front, that leads off this group. I think this cow, I mean, as you study her and appreciate her foot size, bone work, the longevity that's built into her, she still has a tremendous amount of look, and her overall design and outline is awesome. There's just so much good in her. I grant you, I mean, she's, thinner compared to the cattle or the female you see right behind her, but she's raising a really nice bull calf there at side. So if you can kind of add some more pounds to that female and kind of project her what she look like. I mean, this female is built right from the ground up and just has an awesome look from the side. Calf has a lot of good features as well. So really nice pair right there. In terms of just bags and teeth uniformity, it's all really good and balanced the way it should be. So I don't know when the last time the calf nursed. Probably could see just a little bit more milk production there, but it's obviously not impacting his growth and development. And the female or the pair that stands in right behind them, she has that bloom and fill, a little bit more amped up in her condition, has all the power and shape you'd want to see from behind, super strong in her top and the levelness there in her design overall, super nice calf there at side as well. She has the ruggedness of feature that you would expect to see in the breed in terms of foot and bone work, and has that milk production and value you want to see as well. So real nice set of females in this particular division. For me, I really like this female and this pair here in the back to be the champion, follow up with the pair up front to be reserved. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, Grand Champion Purebred Braunvieh cow-calf pair, exhibited by Jalen Smith, Rosebud, Arkansas, with Miss JMS Ziggy J191. Reserve Champion will go to Shelby Prazek of Brenham, Texas, with Praz Miss Epic 91 LET. We're now going to get started with the Full Blood and Purebred Bull Show. We'll look to see Class 14 summer bull calves born on or after May of 2025. Well, we'd like to congratulate in the produce class over here in the Charlet ring. First place going to Camden Flippo of Rush Springs, Oklahoma.
Nice way to here's here to the bull side of the Braunvieh show, and good pair of bulls, couple months spread between the two, but the bull up front, and that guy so impressive in terms of his lower body balance and shape and just his overall presence and look. Still very good on his feet and legs, built right from the ground up. Not the stoutest made and featured one. I think that goes to the bull that stands in right behind him. But in terms of one that checks the most boxes, has the most bells and whistles, that's a good calf to get us started. Bull that's in second here, a little longer spine, longer sided kind of a bull. One that's still big-footed, good-legged, big-legged kind of an individual. It's got some added punch and power you'd like to see in him. He's got a couple months age on him, an advantage from that perspective. Wish one, when we kind of compare him to the bull that wins this class, maybe just kind of make him a little more refined up front and kind of clean him up just a little bit and a little more extended in terms of his look. Want to lay him and relax him in his spine just a little bit more, and then we want to soften him up in his midsection, kind of cover him front to back, give him a little more lower body balance overall. Good pair of bulls to get us started. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations in our first class, Braunvieh Bulls. First place, we'll go to back number 1347. That's Star Pendleton, 43-1, exhibited by Star Ranch, Weatherford, Texas. Second place, we'll go to back number 1348, exhibited by Raleigh Flowers, Mount Vernon, Texas. Now in the ring, class 16, early spring bull calves born March of 2025.
Nice single entry here. Good-footed, good-legged. He gets out and super athletic in terms of just being able to be mobile and travel on his feet and legs. Super long-sided, one that's super extended when you study him from that shoulder forward. I mean, this guy couldn't make one longer, couldn't make one more extended for the breed. A lot of uniqueness and unique parts and pieces there. His scrotal development is awesome for where he is today. Wish we had more to compare it to in class, but we'll see how he stacks up in the champion drive. Congratulations. Interesting set of bulls here in this class. Got a big class, deep set here. The one that's the best at the ground and the surface, and that's really for me where we got to start. Feet and legs, everything, having the angles are correct, having the extra cushion as we get out and travel, and the longevity built in this guy. That's how he wins this class for me pretty easily. Then you stand back and you appreciate the lower body balance, his softness, his skeleton. There's just a lot of good in that guy, and maybe he doesn't kind of wow you or hit you in any one way, but this guy's got a lot of good pieces from front to back. Real nice way to start. The bull comes in next year. This guy's got some power and shape. I love his foot size, his bone work. I love his strength of top line. I love his just character and look about him. When we get him into motion, wish there was a little more cushion in his ankle and posture, and just a little bit more and some flex there. If we can kind of make him just a little softer in his midsection there, that would make him even more comparable to the class winner, but that's still a good pair of bulls to get us started in class. Black bull comes in next. He starts to see some extra body shape there, but when we talk about one that quite is amped up and is powerfully constructed in terms of just substance and muscle and shape and bone work down low to have that masculine and masculinity look, doesn't quite there yet, and perhaps he gets there down the line. Bull comes next. I love his outline, his design and look and feature from the side. When you study him from behind, is not as amped up and as powerfully constructed as well, but he gets around better in the bull that comes in next here. This guy a little more rugged in feature. He's got some length to side about him too. I like his look and his head shape and neck and the way he comes together there. He just pops a little too much for me down low in terms of his ankle and pasterns. Like to change that, give him a little more comfort at the surface to work him up in this class. Congratulations. We bring out these bulls in this division here, and it started off with a bang, and then a real nice prospect here, just kind of a deep-bodied, really well-made and constructed individual that had all that feature in terms of longevity built into the surface and the way you get out and go and can travel with his flexibility and the way he gets at, and Sue's just super athletic, but still really well balanced when you study him from the side and put together really, really nicely. The bull came out of this next class, a little bigger outline, long spine, long-sided individual that, you know, perhaps we could see him body down some more, soften up like the two individuals on either side of him. That would make him a little more competitive in this lineup. And we talked about the bull in the previous class, smooth pattern, good-bodied, really well built when we get out and go and travel out here in the ring. And so, you know, where do you go on this? And there's a couple that I like a great deal for different reasons. I think there's one out here that just kind of hits me a little bit harder and has some interesting parts and pieces about him. But I think both of these bulls that I'll be chosen here can do a lot in a breeding scenario and program. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, your champion junior calf coming out of Class 14, exhibited by Star Ranch, Weatherford, Texas. That was Star Pendleton, 43-1. And congratulations, reserve champion coming in class 17. That was back number 1353, Praz Mr. Charlie 119N, exhibited by Shelby Prazik of Brenham, Texas. We'll now look to start class 18 Winter Bull calves born November to December of 2024. We are going to get started with the Miniature Hereford show here in just a couple minutes in Arena 2. We're going to welcome our judge, Mr. Jason Gaston of Eastland, Texas. Again, we will be starting with our open Miniature Hereford female show in just a moment. Class 1 will be our first class in the ring.
So we roll into this next division, single entry individual here, a real big outline, long spine, long-sided, really good and up-headed and extended individuals. You study him up front. Big-footed, big-legged. Really like a lot of things about him as we kind of compare him to maybe what we saw in previous division. You know, perhaps we need to see some more lower body shape about him, soften him up just a little bit more, just to give him some more of a balanced look. But there's a lot of good in this guy, and we look forward to seeing him back in the champion drive. Congratulations. Good pair of bulls in this next class here. One that wins this class is just at the surface, the better bull down. The angles are correct, feet and legs work the way they should. He gets out and travels a lot of ease out here today. Admire and appreciate his length of side, his added look and extension up front. And one, as you study him, maybe not the most powerful bull, but one that blends in very nicely and transitions very well from front to back because of the balance and the proportions that he has all the way through. Bull comes in next year, perhaps a little bigger outline, one that I appreciate and like how elevated he is on his front end, work our way back. I mean, he paints a really nice picture from the side. So when we get him into motion that gets a little more upright on those ankles and pasterns and want to give him a little more comfort and flex down there to have some added longevity down the road. Good pair of bulls. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations over here in the Braunvieh ring. Results out of Class 20. First place exhibited by Extenda Tompkins of Warren, Texas with KT Maverick. Second place in that class went to Tiana Williams of Perryton, Texas. That was also the division. We're now bringing in Class 23 Junior Yearling Bulls.
Single entry bull, huge-footed, big-legged, one that's got an awesome outline too, and look and presence and eye appeal about him. He's long-sided, he's extended, he's got some good shape from behind. Scrotal development is on target for where he should be, and I just really like the character and the overall masculinity and look he presents out here in this lineup. So we'll see him back in the champion drive. Congratulations.
Congratulations in Class 23. This will also be the Junior Champion Bull exhibited by Shelby Prazik, Brenham, Texas with Praz Mr. Astro 108M. We'll now welcome in our final class of full-blood and purebred bulls.
Another stout bull here on the Braunvieh side. He's big-footed, big-legged. He's got some middle, and he's really strong and level in his top line. Big in terms of his shoulder blade, and really masculine in his look and neck, and just his presence overall. I mean, this guy has got some big features about him. Perhaps you kind of evaluate him from the side. We could probably soften and kind of deepen him in his flank region to give him some extra lower body balance and shape there. But, boy, this guy has a lot to feature about him. Be interesting to see how he stacks up in the champion drive. Congratulations. Well, we bring out all these division winners here in this bull show, and boy, the lineup out here is tremendous. And you look at each one, and each one's a little different based on what they represent in the different breeding programs. But there's some things that you kind of latch onto and take and enhance the breeding program with these kinds of bulls. And so we started off with this, first division here, where we got a young calf that just got a world of potential about him, and talked about that body shape that he presents at his age, the muscle shape that he already has, and the added look and feature all the way through. I think there's a lot of good in that guy, and it'd be interesting to see how we project him forward, what he continues to mature and develop into. That's a really nice individual. We get in that second division, really long-sided individual, and kind of a pair of bulls there that start to kind of amp up some additional growth and maturity pattern. The bull that we just talked about here in this second division, his added length of side, want to even kind of compare to the cat on either end, probably need to have a little more lower body shape to kind of give him an added balanced look. We get into this next division. This guy here is impressive in terms of his body shape, muscle shape, and his overall just eye appeal, softness look in the way he gets out and travels with his feet and legs. He's really sound, he's practical, he's functional. There's a lot of good in that bull and what he represents. The bull that comes out of the next division, we got two senior bulls that have some added frame size, length of side, have some good power, masculinity, just foot size, bone work, and just the overall look. There's a lot of good there. Now, with that added size, is there enough lower body shape and dimension all the way through? We'll see as we kind of stack them up and compare them. But they've got some things that you can really tie into and really gravitate to, and they can add to it. So I'll go show you the two that I like the best. I think there's two that really stand out for me. There's some things that they complement each other on, and there's some things I think they're a little bit different too, and that's okay and that's good. So one more big round of applause for our Braunvieh breeders and their bull show. I'll go show you your champion in reserve. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations over here in Arena 1. Results out of our full-blood and purebred Braunvieh Bull Show. Your champion goes to back number 1360. That's KT Maverick. 462M, exhibited by Cassandra Tompkins. Morin, Texas. Reserve champion will go to Star Pendleton. 43N1, exhibited by Star Ranch, Weatherford, Texas. Now in the ring, we'll welcome our Produce of Dam class over here in Ring 1. Over in Arena 2, we got started with your open miniature shorthorn show. Class 1, May Heifer Calves. First place was exhibited by Daxton Unruh of Pryor, Oklahoma, with FLH Little Miss Fancy 503 MCLP. Second place in that class, exhibited by Kylie Poor of Royce City, Texas. Third place, exhibited by Mason Thompson. Fourth place, Jaylee Duty. Fifth place, exhibited by Taylor Woods. Sixth went to Karen Briggs. Seventh goes to Gracie Dietrich. Now in the ring is Class 2 April Heifer Calves.
First group class here on the Braunvieh side, our Produce a Dam, and so we've got a couple of entries here that are the same dam, and I think you're looking for uniformity in just the overall quality, look, and just what they have to offer, structure, all those things. And so as I evaluated through the group, I've kind of placed them, like the way I see them here. They're lined up here in the profile. The two females up front and the young ladies they're going to be the champion of this Produce of Dam class or division. We're going to follow up with the young man in the green shirt, the young lady there, and then the third is going to be the yellow and the silver calf there, and on down the line. Real nice group of cattle here in this Produce a Dam. Congratulations to all these exhibitors for a job well done.
Well, congratulations in a produce to dam class. First place exhibited by Jess Coding of Memphis, Texas. Second place go to Colt Pittman. Third place exhibited by Jalen Smith. Fourth went to Katie Alexander, and fifth place will go to Jalen Smith. Now going to welcome in the Gal of Sire class. Well, congratulations over in the miniature Hereford ring. Results out of Class 2 April heifer calves. First place exhibited by Josie Belts of Canton, Kansas with JB Nugget 1N. Second place exhibited by Maddox Thompson of Davenport, Nebraska. Third place went to Hunter Harris of Blanchard, Oklahoma. Fourth place exhibited by Ryder Johnson. Fifth place went to Gracie Dietrichs. Sixth place, and congratulations go to AJ Camp, and seventh place to Kaylee Duty. Now in the ring before division will be Class 3. These are March heifer calves.
What an awesome way to wrap up this Braunvieh show here today. And I know it's been a long day. I think you're probably getting cattle ready really early. And so I just want to say a few things here as we wrap up our group classes. And we did our get of sire just previously, and that's, taking, 3 head of cattle that came from the same sire and showcasing the program and what that sire's been able to do, and trying to, again, look for uniformity and consistency throughout whatever's brought in the ring in that group, in that class for that day. And here we've got our best head of 4 for each of the breeding programs out here. And so I just want to commend the Braunvieh breeders and members for putting in, this group of cattle together and showcasing your programs in this way. And I've placed them the way, as you see them lined up here, our champion group of 4 here to my right and working our way down. And I think you see just a quality set of cattle, from number 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through. They've assembled a great group to represent their herds, and I think there's a lot to be proud of. I said this a few times already. This is a breed that I've admired for a long time, and I watch from afar. I know it's got a lot of utility and versatility and offers a lot to the industry. And so what we've been able to see out here today is the quality cattle that represent the breed, the members, and what you're doing and your breeding selections and all the homework that you do and the time you spend to help put the quality set of cattle that you have brought here to Cattlemen's Congress. And I think you should be proud of what you've done in the quality of cattle, and they've gotten so much better, over the years, and that's my hat's off to you for that. Some thanks, the Cattlemen's Congress for this awesome venue and for creating this show 6 years ago at a time when things were slowing down and closing down, and the group got together and took it upon themselves to offer an opportunity for agriculturalists and enthusiasts like us to come together in Oklahoma City and showcase our programs and do the things that we love. And they've continued to do it year in and year out. They continue to make it better each year, and it takes a lot of people, the staff, volunteers, the interns, the ring help. I mean, it just takes a host of people, the breed associations that help, do their part to make this happen as well. I want to thank the Braunvieh Association for extending the invitation and giving me the opportunity to work through your cattle today. It's an honor and a privilege to do it. I take it with great seriousness, and I have a passion for it, and I love it. And so I thank you for that opportunity. And the last thing I'll say is, the thing here is a lasting legacy, right? And I know a lot of us agriculture people don't like to worry about that. We don't want to pat ourselves on the back, and we don't like a lot of attention for sponsoring things and giving back and doing all that. But I would challenge you to think about what you want your legacy to be. Because it's extremely important, especially as we think about the future generations down the line and ahead of us. So thank you again for the awesome opportunity and the privilege to work through your cattle today. It was an awesome show. You guys did a tremendous job. You've got awesome cattle, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do down the road. Congratulations again to all our exhibitors and members of the Braunvieh Association and Breed. Let's give them all a big round of applause. You did a great job here today. Congratulations.
Thank you for joining us for Cattlemen's Congress. This has been a Walton Webcasting production. Livestock like you